I'm very disappointed that we were unable to send our seniors out any better than that. It was not at all what was intended for these guys today. Could not overcome a slow start. Couldn't get off the field, and unable to get any much time of possession, especially in the first half. With that, I'll open up.
Coach, Rakeem Boyd only had 8 carries, 3 carries in the first half. And for a guy that had 180-plus yards, why was he not going 2-1?
Well, I think a lot of it had to do with we had 4 possessions in the first half. Time of possession, when we fell behind, we mix it up a little bit and try to throw the ball a little bit. But I think time of possession had a little bit to do with that.
You said you couldn't get them off the field, so they scored 5 touchdowns on their 5 first half possessions. What was going on? Were they doing anything differently than what you thought, and why that defensive performance today?
Well, they obviously they were very efficient on third down, and when they got to fourth and short, they were efficient on that. I think they were perfect on third and fourth down in the first half, and they did a great job of keeping us off the field, controlling the clock, and we've got. I thought they did a good job mixing up some run and pass, but we've got to be able to get off blocks and make some plays and get into some third and longs.
I guess just given what's happened the last few weeks, any thoughts about your future with the program and the program's future?
Well, I'll tell you this: it's it's going to take some time. This is not an overnight fix, and we've
got
seen
the
that
players
now
to
for
beat Western
2 years.
Kentucky.
We're all frustrated. We're all incredibly frustrated. We have a big youth movement on this team, and a lot of young guys that are contributing and going to be tremendous football players. But where we are right now with these guys, we've got some major deficiencies that we have to fix, and we have to fill. And but this is not an overnight fix.
Chad, I think a lot of people can understand losing SEC games and stuff, but to be blown out at home by a Group of 5 program, I mean, I know you're young and stuff, but how do you explain struggles like that?
It's very disappointing. Disappointed in the fact that
Same theme every week.
we let a team give them credit. They came in here but for us to come in here and not be able to get off the field and have an opportunity to score some points is very disappointing. And we've got to just continue to we've got some deficiencies and we have to go fill them.
Coach, tough question here. You got SEC Network watching, you got fans watching, and I know this is a tough time, but can you address, are you the guy for this job? And we've seen very little improvement, and you got the microphone now. Can you tell our fans, are you the guy?
Absolutely, I am the guy. I am. There's no question. I knew that this was going to take some time. I knew that this was going to be a process of recruiting and developing and building and especially in this conference. I knew the strains that take place weekly in this conference and the depth that it needs to be successful. And right now we don't have that. We've got to go get that. We've got to recruit to it, and we've got to continue to develop. And right now, it's unfortunate that we're playing as many young guys as we're playing, but that's the truth.
Chad, if you look at the results of Western Kentucky coming in, and nothing in their schedule compares to what they did today to the opponent they played. Can you say that Arkansas is at the bottom of college football right now?
I think that we are in a part of where our program is that we're asking a lot of 18-year-old young men to step in and play against some older guys, and that's, there's no excuse in that. But they're having to grow up, and they're having to grow up the hard way, and we're definitely not where we want to be. And as I mentioned earlier, it's disappointing, and we're all frustrated with it. But these young men will continue to grow, and they'll continue to mature and develop.
Coach, I think people want to hear what you think the deficiencies are and which you think you can fix fast and which you think are, more long-term things you have to fix.
Well, you could look at us over the last few weeks, and we're struggling stopping the run. That's one of them. We've got some areas there, and from a depth standpoint, we've got to create depth on both sides of the ball, offensive line, defensive line. That has got to happen in this league, and that's where it starts. This is a line of scrimmage league.
Been the way things have gone, though. Have you had conversations with Hunter Yurachek, and has he given you those assurances that you have the time that you need to get this program in order?
We talk each and every Sunday, and go through the program in depth each week, and go through the game, and I'll continue to visit.
Coach, you coached Todd Story last year. He came in today, 22 of 32, 213 yards passing, 77 yards rushing. Just talk about his performance today against you.
Well, I'd commended Ty all week long after watching him, and an older guy that got in and found his niche and did a great job. And obviously his performance today was on par. And I had a chance to talk to him right after the game, and just told him I was proud of him, and he was a great kid. He loves the state of Arkansas.
And your quarterbacks, can you talk about what you saw from John Steven and KJ? And can you update us on KJ's shoulder, and there's some other guys that were dinged up. Trey Knox, I think, some other guys.
Yeah, Trey went out with an ankle early on I think in the first half, and was unable to return much. I thought that both John Steven and KJ did some really good things. Again, when guys continue to grow, they'll continue to get better. I thought that as we started the second half, did not know if KJ was going to be able to go. He had a shoulder injury that he had gotten, and came in, doctors evaluated it, and shot it up, and it took a little bit for it to take over. But I thought when he got in there, I thought he played tough, and obviously moved the football, and that was good to see. And I wish we could have the touchdown pass back, the holding call. But I thought he made some good decisions with the ball. But again, a young man that's growing up right in front of us, and with every rep.
Coach, has there been any change to who is calling the plays? Is it still both you and Coach Craddock? Or?
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to speak to Hunter Yurachek after the San Jose State loss at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, and he said that you had his confidence, and that the thing that gave him assurance was that this team continued to be competitive. Now, I know there's a difference between competitive and giving effort, and you're happy with your team's effort, but do you honestly feel like this team is competitive every Saturday, especially losing a game 45-19 to a Western Kentucky?
Well, I think when you look at the way it happened today, the outcome of today, it was very disappointing for all of us, and there's no question.
Come on, man.
As I shared earlier, and as we look out there, and we're rotating guys in on both sides of the ball, and we're trying to find the right fix right there, and letting a lot of these young guys take on that ownership and their play. And so it was disappointing with the effort, and has been over the last couple of days or couple of weeks. But again, this is a lot of young guys that are continuing to grow up, and we're going to continue to play these young guys.
John Steven and KJ, was it scripted for KJ to come in the fifth series, or did you consider putting him in earlier? And is there any change in the starter moving forward?
Well, we had a plan to play KJ. John Steven let us down, and we scored with Rakeem's run, and had an opportunity there to let him have the next series. Again, the time of possession in the first half was weighed a little on that as well. We wanted to get him in before halftime. We thought we might be able to get him in earlier, but we didn't didn't anticipate the time of possession being like it was.
Coach, when you were hired, you said that this was going to be one of the most explosive offenses in the country. Given that statement, is this job more of a rebuild than what you thought it was at that time when you took the job?
Well, it is as I did mention, that we will want to be one of the most explosive offenses in the country, but we also want to do what we don't want to get out there and play it to a speed at which we're going 3 and out and putting the defense back on the field. So there's been some adjustment to that. And I think you look at where I've been before and how fast we play, and some of you just have to adjust to it. But I knew this was going to be this was going to be a rebuild. I knew it when I took the job. I knew from just looking at all the other SEC programs and looking at what we have to get and where we have to recruit to get this program where it needs to be, and the areas and the footprint that you need to recruit in. And that was part of the reason why I got the job, is because of our recruiting and footprint, and that hasn't changed, and it's not going to change. And we have got to continue to recruit. We've got to continue to develop, and that's where we are. And it's going to take some time, and it's everybody's frustrated with that, and I get it. I am too, but I also understand that there is some time that to get this thing right, it's going to take some time in this league.
It looked like KJ was targeting Traylon Burks quite a bit. Have they kind of built a rapport in practice or anything like that?
Well, I'd have to go back and look at the film on it, but I do think that they do got a great chemistry there. I know he's trying to get the ball to Mike a couple of times. I think we had a few there, trying to get the ball to his running backs. But I think that we were trying to get the ball in 16's hands. There's no question about that. Being one of our dynamic playmakers, so that was the plan there. And then obviously they've got a really good chemistry, but and they'll continue to grow.
What does the next week look like for you, Chad? Open day, what's on the agenda?
Well, we'll be back in on Monday at a team meeting, and practice Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll be out on the road. All coaches will be out on the road recruiting Thursday and Friday, and Saturday at games. So this will be a big week for us in recruiting. All right.
Yep, it's done.
He won't even look at the fans, man. He won't even look at